guys, it is Dave and Duncan from Metal Epidemic back for another album review. And for this review, Duncan and I have been checking out the new album from Metalcore Deathcore veterans, the Acacia Strain. The band's new album, Failure Will Follow, will be released on May 12th via Rise Records.
It's Groundhog Day.
So this album will be released alongside a second album, Step Into the Light, on May 12th, which you will find a review of in the description below. So, as per the press release, Failure Will Follow will showcase the sludgier side of the band and will feature collaborations with Full of Hell's Dylan Walker, Primitive Man's Ethan McCarthy, and industrial goth rocker Iris.exe. It will sport 3 new tracks and has a runtime of just under 39 minutes. I kind of love this idea of releasing, just firing out a second album on the same day you're releasing another full-length album, but making one of them a completely different style. That is a flex, ladies and gents. That is what's known as a flex. You looked like you were going to say something there, no?
I was about to say something, but I realised it was maybe my opening point to my review, so I held back. Brought it back, Dave.
Okay.
Because you might still have details like this was recorded by...
this was recorded by Randy LaBeouf, who did the other album. So,
which I believe is French for the beef.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I believe.
Interesting fact.
LaBeouf.
So, if you've watched their other review, I kicked that one off. So I'll let you go with this one. What did you think of the new album from the Acacia Strain, the second album?
So I made a statement on the other review, which is prompting people to go and check out the other review. See how we did that. Old crusty veterans. You know.
Link below.
Crusty being the appropriate word. That I felt like Failure Will Follow is... Like, a lot of people are like surprised that they're releasing a Sludge album. This is the least surprising thing that could have ever happened to me, because I genuinely feel like this album has been about 20 years in the making, if I'm honest. I think, genuinely, if the Acacia Strain formed now, this would be more indicative to their sound than the deathcore sound that now exists as deathcore. I see less of that in them because of how the genre's evolved than I do when I hear this, and this kind of feels like I say, just kind of feels like something they've always been building towards, and they've finally released it, and guess what? They're pretty fucking good at it. Failure Will Follow is what the band is touting as a risk, right? I don't know if it is a risk. They're also saying that, you know, this is their most challenging work to date. I also don't think it's their most challenging work to date. I will say, if your forte is releasing 3-minute songs, then yes, releasing a 17-minute track is daunting. Like, not a lot of bands can pull off a 17-minute track, let alone have the movements that track 2 Bog Walker has, and deliver what it does. But I'm getting ahead of myself here.
Okay. Slow down.
Yeah, right. So, to me, Acacia Strain have always had, like, their version of kind of deathcore, or whatever we want to call it, has always had the sludge on its side. The other bands, maybe less so, but they've always had the sludge on their side. It's never been a prominent element. Weirdly got more prominent as things went on. Wormwood was, I think, the first album that I heard that was like that. All right, there's something sludgy going on here. And it's been there pretty much since, but it's never an overused element. They use it primarily as a way to slow tracks down, or in place of a breakdown. So rather than giving you the breakdown, they give you a more kind of sludge core element, if that's a genre, if it isn't, it is now. So they kind of lean in towards that. Naturally, their sound actually slips more into that than I think it does the other release that they've got out. You'll hear our comments on that. I mean, they can still cut the, you know, rapid, fast-paced hardcore drums and all the energy that comes with that, but actually, like you find wine maturing in a barrel. I actually think this is the sound that I kind of want from my Acacia Strain now. Vocally, Vincent, his voice has always kind of been on that register anyway. And what's happened in the interim since their earlier releases is the sludge genre has morphed. It's no longer the 90s sludge. It's not even the 2000 sludge. This is the 2010 sludge, which is like bands like Conan have paved the way for this kind of doomy, sludgy, like discordant, dystopian, fucking horrible, consistent stank face approach. And that's why I think they're more acclimated to it now. I think this sort of music didn't really exist in the form that it did when they first founded. It's become more prominent. So it isn't the most remarkable release. It's remarkable that they've done it, but it isn't the most remarkable release. Opening track, Pillar of Salt, right? It's about a minute of kind of cleany sort of guitars, and you're like, oh, what are we doing here? I thought you said sludge. And then you get what you would class as one of those breakdown Acacia Strain riffs, right? There's big, bow, bow, you know, fucking horrible, like ugly, just brutal, savage riffs. And then you realise that basically the track is going to hit you with that for about the next 7 minutes, right? And I couldn't have been any more giddy. I was giddy like a schoolgirl being told, here's a new set of skipping ropes. I'm assuming schoolgirls still skip. It's been a while since I've been one, Dave. But I genuinely got excited. The longer the song went on, because I kept expecting the attack snare to come in, and it never comes. And that couldn't make me any happier, right? It's layered, it's huge, it's fucking ugly. And it continues to, interestingly, just continues to add intensity and darkness, and it is a murky sounding track. I think that might be a Scottish word. It is a track that adds a degree of like a ugly film over the front of it, and it's fucking great. And just when you think you've heard all the tricks, all the little techniques that they have, by the time you get to the end of the track, you get clean-cut female vocals layered up over the music. It's this false ending, which I love them for this, because I was like, you're closing it out on something discordantly beautiful. And you get a whole section of it, and then you realise there's maybe about 40 seconds left, and then the most Acacia Strain ever. Like the riff that's locked away in Fort Knox that they have to get an eye retina scan to unlock to use comes out and fucking beats you to death with your own shoes. It is so fucking heavy. It is so ugly. It's fucking amazing. And I was in. One song I was like that. Did I just make a new best friend? I think I fucking did, right? Loved it. And I was kind of thinking to myself, this is their own brand. Like, they're doing the kind of Conan thing where it doesn't sound American. There's no big southern licks or anything like that. This just is fucking savage. And then Bogwalker kicks in. Oh. See if down.
Yes.
See if down, see if down went stank. That's Bogwalker.
Yeah, take down and drop tune them to like drop G, and that's basically what you've got.
Oh, it's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. This might be one of my favourite Acacia Strain songs ever fucking released. And let me tell you for why, ladies and gents. Not only does it have maybe the heaviest southern groove ever fucking written. Like, honestly, I don't think it gets any heavier than this. Vincent is on fine fucking form on this track. Jesus Christ. And the elements here where there's melody added in just open this motherfucker up. Like, genuinely just release the kraken of melody. It's huge sounding, and it works. You want to know why it works? Because it's a technique they don't do all the time. They've saved it for the opportune moment where they have a song that has a groovy melody underneath it. So when that melody kicks in, and they make you wait for it, this track's 17 minutes long. You better hold that motherfucker, right? And like I was with this track with its savagery, and then the melody hit, and I may have made my old face. I go, like just like fucking skeet everywhere. It is so good, man. This song is everything I wanted.
Yeah.
And more. It is fucking awesome. I think it might be. It's up there. It's up there amongst the best Acacia Strain songs ever. And it's slow and it's methodical. I keep mentioning Conan because it has that Conan pace. You know what I mean? Of, they're confident about what they're doing. For a band that haven't really done this before, they're very confident in what they're doing. They know exactly the point where the riff is maybe starting to get a little bit long on the tooth, and then they transition to something else, and then they bring it back. So when they bring it back, you're like, oh, this feels like a fresh riff again. It's a riff you were listening to for 4 minutes before, but it now sounds like there's a new fresh coat of paint on it. It's fucking amazing. That riff plays out for close to 3 minutes before there's even a drum lick. It's just like it's like I count the veins on my dick riff. You're going to be at it for a while, but trust me, it's not going to be rewarding until the drums hit in, until you realise there's a set of balls underneath. You know what I mean? And then you're in for a good time. It's fucking amazing. And we're saying all the way through this, the production is La Bouffe is a real deal. 100% La Bouffe. Put that on a sticker. And then you come into the final track, which is the shortest, a measly 10 minutes, 10 seconds long, and it's Basin of Vows. And it's the one that kind of most feels like a conventional... It's the most conventional Acacia Strain mid to close section of a track stretched out for 10 minutes. You know what I mean? It doesn't. There's no long intro on it. The vocals almost kick in instantly. The drums are there almost instantly, and it's designed to make you slow headbang, wince your face like someone's poured vinegar in your eyes, and just marvel at how fucking huge the band sounds.
Yeah,
they sound massive. This is the soundscape at the gates of hell. This is the if you were getting an elevator to like Dante's seventh circle of hell, this is the elevator music. It is so fucking heavy and just relentless.
Yep.
They've distilled the essence of doomy sludge.
Yeah.
Emphasis on the sludge, and put that Acacia Strain rub as if they were cooking a brisket all over it, and just made it absolutely tantalizing. My metaphors are all over the place. Honestly, the images are just running wild just now. I've got veiny dicks and briskets in my head, and if those two get crossed, we're in for a bad time. No teeth. This is honestly, can I say it? This might be my favourite Acacia Strain release.
Ooh.
I'm going there. I think this is the one. Like I say, I think since Wormwood they've been promising this. Wormwood's what, 20... Is it this 2013? Maybe? Is it before 2013? Have I just pulled that number at my ass? Wormwood's a while ago, right? We saw them on that tour. Vincent wasn't there. Long story, we'll get to it later. Different video, behind a paywall. And that was, like I say, that was the album that, to me, first started showing that sludgier side. And it's just taken a long time for them to fully embrace it. And by God, am I glad that they did. Linking it back to the previous review, this album was so good it makes the other album sound pedestrian. And that's the problem. I think putting them out at the same time, I don't know if that's a cynical marketing gimmick. You get people to buy two releases. I don't know if it's we're not confident that the fans will go on this journey with us. So you've got your Acacia Strain thing there. But I don't think this is a leap for Acacia Strain fans. I really don't. I think those elements have been in your sound for the longest time. The bit that everyone loves to fucking slow headbang and crush, you're just giving us like whole songs of that and elongating it out. Maybe there's an educational lesson there for their fans to go on that journey, but if you've been with them since the beginning, I don't think this is a step too far away. I also think the music scene has changed completely to the point where, like I say, this isn't a remarkable release. I've heard other bands do, that sludgy doominess and that crushing fucking sound. Ahab had an album out earlier on in this year, and it made my eyes water listening to it. It was that heavy. So I don't think it's remarkable. What I think they've done is they've added their element, the thing that they do, arguably better than any of the bands in that kind of deathcore scene, over the top of it, and it makes it stand out. I think this is fucking great. I love this. This is, to me, I kind of see if Acacia Strain only wanted to do this from now on, I'd be fucking in for it, man. Honestly, I love this. I love this so much so that I might not really go back to the other album that came out on the same day. Maybe if they're coming live, and I want to recap it. This to me is the sound of a band doing something that I want. Even the clean guitar work at the end of Bass in the Vows is just maybe the midpoint.
Yeah.
It's stuff that I've never really heard them deep dive in on, and they're really fucking good at it.
Yeah.
This can't be a flash in the pan. This needs to be, even if they have to have a side project called the Strain Acacia or something, I don't know. I need it. It's fucking great. And like I say, this is the album they've been promising me since Wormwood, and I got it, and it lived up to every year I've had to wait for it.
Nice. Nice.
Off my chest, Dave, honestly.
Good.
How did you get on with it?
Well,
well, I didn't like it, Duncan. A bit too long for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure how their fans are going to take it, to be honest. I
Fuck
think
their fans.
We're
fans, and we took to it fine.
I know, but we're big fans of sludge and doom. I think there'll be certain fans out there that just love the hardcore and the deathcore side of this band and don't want a 17-minute track
like that.
Yeah, I think a 17-minute track might be too much for them, but who cares? This is the Acacia Strain long form. This is 3 tracks where you really get to hear the Acacia Strain experiment more with that doomier side, the sludgy side that they've touched on in other releases. And by God, do I love this fucking side of the Acacia Strain. I think I had a 39-minute stank face.
Which, your face may stay that way. It's so that, I found, where you smile too much at people, and then afterwards you feel exhausted.
Yeah, my cheeks.
It's your cheek muscles.
They were hurting. Yeah, actually hurting. I think it might be a world record, actually.
Yeah.
So it's completely undocumented. So, but
there's no way to substantiate this. There's no scientific evidence either, Dave.
I may have to start recording my reactions to every album I listen to.
That's what I'm saying. There's fake news on this show.
However, this is fucking awesome. This is the complete opposite of Step Into the Light. This is the Acacia Strain being deliberately controlled, but still being monstrously heavy. Like, these tracks go on a journey, and I didn't know I was going to use the J word on an Acacia Strain album review, but here you go. This album goes on a journey of peaks and valleys that is so well done, and never. It's weird, it never feels drawn out either, which I was like, what is going on here? The first track's 11.5 minutes, right? Goes from this almost kind of sci-fi-esque synthy ambience that builds into this fucking note that hits about 1 minute 45. Just this bow. And we are just serenaded by this ominous doomy beast that just weaves in and out of atmosphere and just utterly disgusting riffs. You also get additional vocals from Full of Hell's Dylan Walker and Iris.exe, adding in various vocal tones and textures to the mix, which makes this even more interesting. Dylan Walker's tone is visceral. If you've ever heard Full of Hell before, you'll know what I'm talking about. Much higher register than Vincent. So, but it complements it really well. And then you've got Iris.exe, which she has this very clean, pure vocal that comes in at the end of the track.
So works.
Almost like a Christina from King Woman type kind of delivery. Very haunting kind of end to the track. Or so you'd think.
How heavy is it? I'm not overselling this. How heavy is that riff that comes in?
Almost shat myself, Duncan, not gonna lie. I thought it was the end of the track. I was like, oh, this is really cool. I really like this more melodic ending. And then, boom, out of nowhere, this heaviness comes back in, and I fucking almost had a heart attack. I was like, this is too much for me. I might just have to turn this off. I'm
It's
too
that
old for this
Chrome
album.
Ghost thing. Remember we were like that
Yeah,
Chrome Ghost
totally.
release? You're like, oh, this is just, and then they hit, and it's so fucking savage.
Yeah. That didn't prepare me though for Bog Walker, which that is my fucking jam. That is like, I was sitting listening. I was like, who knew? Who knew the Acacia Strain had this much southern sludge in them? Like,
Yep.
where I knew they had the tones, the doom, and the sludge, but this goes full southern, like you say, very down-esque riffs wise in the style, but way heavier and way more detuned. It's got all the southern licks, but with this big, thick, like bottom end with the big open string, and it's fucking 17 minutes long.
Yeah.
Like, fucking Jesus Christ. Riffs wise, I mean, it doesn't switch up all that much in the 17
Doesn't
minutes.
need to, Dave.
But the riffs are so good, and the different vocal tones on it are fucking awesome. Again, you've got that really like guttural voice from Vincent into these kind of blackened screams, and then you've got these kind of like almost like melodic kind of group vocals in there as well. That goes on for about 6 minutes, and then the track shifts into a kind of part two, and the riff becomes a little more demonic, but still with that kind of southern twang to it. And it just seems to get heavier and heavier before the end of the track, which is drops you into this kind of another big southern groove, where they then half-time it, and it just fucking sounds gloriously heavy.
Half-time it, and it was already slow.
I know.
I just want to stress.
Ridiculous.
Half-time to half-time.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like that Inception breakdown thing we've been talking about, like that this did do, like this is it, but like sludge version. The last track is like another 10-minute opus, and it's got the heaviness in spades, just slow, this churning kind of dissonance to it. Also has this really nice, clean kind of middle eight part, where they kind of show off this more expansive side, which I really loved. It creates a real kind of moody intersection to kind of blend the two heavy sides of the track together. Plus it's giving you that kind of variation and contrast. I loved the fact that that part kind of showed off how clean and how detailed that drum production is. Because you can hear every single note that's been played by Kevin on drums. Just the snare tone, everything just sits really, really, really nice with a nice lush reverb on it. The kind of last third of that track is just like really ominous and heavy. You've also got some additional vocals from Ethan from Primitive Man, which just kind of opens it up even more. I love this side of the Acacia Strain. It's extremely well written. It's delivered with this huge kind of sonic punch, and it's weirdly Moorish. Like a 39-minute 3-track sludge album should not be as gripping and addictive as this, but I couldn't help but respin it. I was just like, stick it on that this again, put that right back on. My only feeling is,
here we go. Like, if people have to drink when I say there's a lot to like, people have to start drinking when you say my only, and you look off to the side.
Bad about the album. The only thing that really kind of hurts me a little bit is I don't think we'll get to hear any of this live.
See, this is my challenge to them. If they are smart motherfuckers, and they are smart motherfuckers, their tour is this.
I would love it.
They play this in its entirety. They go off stage.
Yeah.
They get the encore. They come back on. They pick their choice fucking 7-8 songs from whatever albums they want to do and savagely blast through that.
Yeah.
This is an experience piece.
Yeah.
This is something that needs to be done live. The same way that a band like Gojira played the Way of All Flesh live. Like its entirety live. The way that a band like fucking Mastodon played Crack the Sky live, and then, played like Come Back and did other songs. This is what they need to do this live. They need to do it live. Just give me that they're going to be on for an hour and a bit anyway. Go off stage, come back on. I'm talking about like those fucking full 9 Inch Nails this way, rotten, decaying animals in the background on the screen. Let's go full fucking hog on this one.
Yeah.
and then
I'm
you
with
come
you.
back out and you play the songs that everyone's happy about, or do it in reverse. Play a fucking like a set of breakneck tracks that get the crowd all pumped up. Go off stage and then come back on and do this as your encore, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, it needs to be done live. It's too good not to be done live. It's too good to be a studio experiment.
Yeah, I agree. But I think that's probably the only way it would work, is if they did it as a full set, just, you know, did this album in its entirety with a few other bits on the end or at the beginning. But whatever, this is ace. Like, I really, really enjoy this. I love this side of the Acacia Strain, and I'd love to hear them do even more of it. So scores for this album from the Acacia Strain. What are you thinking?
5. Honestly, I was at the point where I was sitting. Originally, I said 4.5. That's where I was coming in. Originally was the 4.5. Now I listened back to this today, and I genuinely was reaching, like, really. I mean, like to the point where I was on tiptoes, like fucking struggling to reach for an element that doesn't work here and I don't like. And there isn't one. There isn't one at all. The worst I could say is they overplay a couple of riffs that I fucking love and I didn't mind it. So, I mean, this to me, like I said before, I would argue right now that this is my favourite Acacia Strain release to date. It's the one that maybe most acclimates to the music I like. I think this is a flawless release. I think there's not one element I can think of that I would improve at all. I think it's a very, 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 very smart release by a band that clearly have a lot of talent that they have been whittling away in the background and not showing us. Because the other album shows that they can do the savage deathcore stuff with all the gimmicks and all the hooks and all the things. But to me, it lacks depth. And this album is all depth, and I got lost listening to it more than once. It's a 5. It's an easy 5. It's actually an easy 5 the more I think about it. I've talked myself into an easy 5. Easy 5. 5.
Well played, Duncan. I never thought we'd see the day where Duncan would score the Acacia Strain higher than me. Cannot. I'm a 4.5. I'm close behind.
I think by the end of the year, you will be with me. If this is not in your top 10 at the end of the year, I will be fucking shocked.
I don't know about that.
I think this one it's inviting you back in, Dave. You're just going to listen to it.
I mean, it gives you everything you want. From a sludgy doom album, it's got everything. And it's written by a band who are known for deathcore and hardcore. So it doesn't feel overly formulaic or routine at all. It has their personality all over it, which makes the difference here. But yeah, it's a super strong release. I really, really dug this one. 4.5 from me. So the Acacia Strain with Failure Will Follow, which is also out on May 12th on Rise
Check
Records.
the other video out.
Along with the other album, Step Into the Light. Other link below to the other review. Check it out. Let us know what you think. What do you think of the Acacia Strain sound on this album? Happy to hear your thoughts and opinions on it.
Who's against it? That's like, we keep making that assumption. I want to know the Acacia Strain fan that doesn't want long form Acacia Strain songs.
They're out there. I guarantee you, they'll be out there.
But I don't know if you're an actual fan of the band then. I think you're more a fan of the scene and not a fan of the band. Could be. I think if you're a fan of the band, it's here in spades. This is the Acacia Strain. Yeah. I mean, it's not that they're coming out with harmonicas and he's like, well, sit on a porch end, but it's not like that. Yeah. It's still them. Mm-hmm. It's all the stuff they've been doing before. It's just they stretched that motherfucker out, went slow. Yeah.
That is the review. Thank you for checking it out. Much appreciated. We'll be back with another review very soon, but until then, take care. Speak to you soon. Bye, everyone.